Just coming from a date, actually a first date, right, with with this girl I met, and believe me when I tell you, this is the most traumatic thing I've ever experienced in my whole life. Like the craziest thing I've ever experienced. So you know what? Let's go on a pasta date. You know, confidently I asked her this. So you know where I was sitting, right? I could literally see anybody who is coming to the entrance. So now I saw this girl coming, right? But I saw her with a man, but I wasn't wearing my glasses, so I couldn't really see who the person was. But I saw her coming with like an older man. So I saw her coming towards me, then I waved, then she came. So she got to the table and introduced me to this man who is her dad. And she was like, "Oh, come for this, my dad, you know, blah blah blah." And I introduced myself, you know. I introduced myself and everything. In my mind, I was like, oh, maybe her dad came to drop her off and maybe he wanted to see who, she was coming on a date with and things like that. The next second, and the table two was a table of two. The next second, I've seen this man put chair from one open table, put chair and has added it to the table of two and has come to sit with us to the date.
So this man right here shared one of the most awkward first dates ever, bro. I understand I'm simple. Hello there, video. But before that, let me wrap it up for you guys a little bit. So picture this. You meet a very beautiful girl online. Online is when you're a TikTok. TikTok on and she calls herself a social media influencer. Influencer. Mo vibe, mo chat, mo do command after the mo say like mo share in person. Yeah, so Moko dates. Now this guy here gets to the restaurant thinking first impression matters. Yo, the nigga we chest. This nigga have waited for so long. Not knowing say this girl will be coming with her father. With her father. Like who does that? First date to Charlie. Yo, not even a friend of yours, not even a cousin, your father. Maybe I don't who say like the father is pressuring the girl like to get married with you. So this was the time, yeah. And this guy was like, the moment the father gets involved, this date turned to an interview panel. The panel part my girl around so he was doing all the talks. He was asking the guy, what do you do for a living and things? I hope you see all in the video. And this guy described this date as a traumatized one. You let's saw the video.
So I'm just coming from a date, actually a first date, right, with with this girl I met, and believe me when I tell you, this is the most traumatic thing I've ever experienced in my whole life. Like the craziest thing I've ever experienced. I've been in the car for like 1 hour, still trying to like wrap my head around the whole thing. But let me just give you a quick backstory, guys. So you know what? For anonymity's sake, let's just call this person Gifty. Okay. So I made a video about a month ago, talking about the fact that I was totally down with like relationships and dating and everything related to that, right? And this girl referred to that post and sent me a message that, oh, why are you done with, like, why have you given up on relationships? And when your wife is literally just here with like 2 laughing emojis. In my mind, I was like, now why is she? But during that time, then it wasn't even in my mind to like check her profile. But later, something told me that I should just go and check her profile. Then I went to check this girl's profile. Then realized that this girl has like a very large following, and she's kind of like, she's like an influencer with very active on TikTok, and like she's very, very, very pretty too. So I decided to text her back. So I texted her back and we started talking, right? And we started talking and eventually she told me that, oh, she's not really, she would love to take the conversation of TikTok and so she gave me a digits, right? And we started texting through iMessage. Now we were texting normal talking stage questions like, hey, what do you like to do? What are your hobbies? We're having like very mature conversation. I wasn't asking her what's the color of her pants and what does she sleep naked. No, I wasn't asking her those foolish questions. I was asking her, very mature questions. Okay, so in the process of talking, right, I asked her politely, oh, can we FaceTime? Because I know how social media and catfishing is. Somebody can look like Kim Kardashian on social media, but when you meet them in real life, chewa. So I asked her, can we FaceTime? And she was like, oh, why not? So we FaceTimed, right? And guy, she was actually a real person who hallelujah. She was actually so pretty, same person. I was like, wow. I was so shocked. So we spoke, right? We spoke, and I was asking her question. I asked her, what's her favorite food to eat, and she was like, oh, she loves pasta. I'm like, oh, coincidentally, I also love pasta. So, what, let's go on a pasta date, confidently. I asked her this. So I asked her when she's free, and she told me today, Saturday. Like, I'm literally from the dates right now, guys. And she was like, oh, she's free today. And I was like, oh, no problem. You know what? I'll make reservations and everything so that you can go. So I made reservations and everything around like 7:30. Yes, so that was the time, 7:30 p.m. that we should go on a date. She was like, okay, she'll be there, no problem. So, I called her around like 6 o'clock to ask her, should I come and pick her up? She was like, oh, nah, that's fine. She'll come herself, she'll Uber herself. And I was like, oh, no problem. So I go to the restaurant at around like 6:45. Guys, that's like 30 minutes earlier, crowd, like more than 30 minutes earlier. I got to the restaurant like 6:45 and I was like waiting for it, just to like secure the whole place and, make sure everything is set for this date. So I got there like 6:45 and was, waiting for her. Then 7 o'clock, this girl hasn't come. Okay. 7:30, this girl hasn't come. 7:45, this girl hasn't come. 8 o'clock, this girl hasn't come. 8:15, before this girl texted me, I am here with like 15 exclamation, your friends saying exclamation signs was it. Then I was like, then I vexed, but like I just kept my composure and she was like, okay, I'm inside, she can come in. So where I was sitting, right, I could literally see anybody who is coming to the entrance. So now I saw this girl coming, right, but I saw her with a man, but I wasn't wearing my glasses, so I couldn't really see who the person was. But I saw her coming with like an older man. So I saw her coming towards me, then I waved, then she came. So she got to the table and introduced me to this man who is her dad. And she was like, oh, come, this is my dad, blah, blah, blah. And I introduced myself, and everything. In my mind, I was like, oh, maybe her dad came to drop her off and maybe he wanted to see who, she was coming on a date with and things like that. The next second, and the table two was a table of two. The next second, I've seen this man put chair from one open table, put chair and has added it to the table of two and has come to sit with us to the date between the two of us. See, I was so confused. I didn't even know what was going on. I tried to look at the girl and she had J.I. like she wasn't even looking in my direction at all. Guys, so the next thing I heard was the dad in some very funny accent. Hello, so gentlemen, what work do you do? What are your intentions to... Guys, see, I was so confused. See, my mind was trying to process the whole situation. The next thing, make her hear, hello, so gentlemen, what are your intentions towards my daughter? I was in shock. Like, the man started blasting me questions like, guy, we're in an interview. So, what work do you do? How much salary do you make in a month? What is your... Guy, see, the man started blasting me questions left and right. What work do your parents do? What is the name of your father? Where is your father? Guy, he asked me like, bro, the whole time this man was asking me questions, right? This girl had J.I. like she didn't even come on a date with me, bro. Then, so while I was in the interview, like, see, I was visibly sweating. While I was in the interview, then the waitress came, right? So the waiter brought 3 menus, right? While I was like busily searching through the menu to find what to eat, the next thing I heard was that, so we order lobster linguine for the 3 of us. The man has ordered food for the 3 of us. I was just looking at him like this and he didn't even look at my face. He ordered the food for the 3 of us, the same thing. I didn't talk. See, the questions continued. I hope you don't smoke. I hope you don't drink. I hope you are not a felon. See, some crazy questions, guy. So this man continued blasting me with questions, left, right, center, and I told him politely, Dad, can you excuse me? And I went to the washroom. As I went to the washroom, see, I wanted to find a way to run away. I'm not lying to you. Hey, I just wanted to run away by my mind. At that point, before they came, I had ordered a drink, right? And it was not, I had to pay for the drink, so I had no choice than to still stay. So I went back. He continued asking me questions. Then the food came in. So the food came in. We ate the food. See, whole time, this girl hasn't opened her mouth once. I promise. So after we finished eating the food, right, and he ordered wine. He had already asked me whether I drink, and I was like, no. So he was like, You said you don't drink, right? He ordered the wine. In my mind, I was like, oh, probably he's going to pay for it. I don't know. So we are done eating and everything, right? And the waitress brings the bill. So the bill comes, right? He collects the bill, looks at the price of everything that we bought, and gives it back to me and says, I hope you know if you want my daughter, you should be able to take care of the bills. Guy, this is literally our first date. How would I even know if I want her if you've never made me speak to this girl self? Like, can you imagine? Mind you, the lobster languino, say whatever that I bought, one plate was 410 cedis. 410 cedis plus the wine he bought, almost everything was like almost 2k. Guy, see, 2k. See, that's somebody's monthly salary, somebody's school fees. That come to So he waited for me to, I had no choice, so I paid the bill. He waited for me to pay the bill. So I paid the bill. When I was done paying the bill, like 1 minute later, then he got up. He got up, took his daughter's hand, right? Took his daughter's hand and was like, okay, gentlemen, so you're going to hear from us. Then they left. That was it. See, that was it. In my mind, I was like, why is he using us? Why is he an arranged marriage I was coming for, or I was coming to seek employment? Like, that you're saying you hear from us. Like, bro. See, after they left, right, I sat in the restaurant for like 30 good minutes trying to wrap my head around what just happened. Like, I thought this thing just happened in movies, guy. I sat in the restaurant for 30 minutes for one of the waiters to come and check up on me and was like, hello, sir, please, are you okay? And I was like, guy, I am not okay. But I couldn't tell anybody what has happened. And I came down from the restaurant, came into my car and sat for an extra, this is why I'm here. I sat for an extra like 30 minutes and I was like, nah, I have to come and say this because I still can't believe it. Guys, till now, the girl hasn't texted me. Like, I don't even know what is happening. I don't even know whether I'm in a Tyler Perry movie or like, bro.
So what do you think about this date? For me, I really felt it for the guy because it's not easy. And it cost him like 4,000 or 2,000 or so, yeah. And onye maybe like maybe or bulk 2,000 you. Who does that? And the guy did really well. He said it was an influencer, but one board per coding, and that's a clap for him. That's a clap for him. But I felt it, bro. And your one car day. Let me know it in the comment section. Yeah, make sure you subscribe too.